This is the famous Scrappy lost puppy problem. What we have is Scrappy is going to go south, and then he's going to go east, and then he's going to go north, and then he's going to go west, and we want to know how far from the beginning is he. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to make individual triangles. I'm going to make this blue triangle, one triangle we're analyzing. Sounds ooh. Then I'm going to use this right triangle, and then I'm going to use this one, which you can't see, but you can, because I'm going to change the background. No. There we go. All right, so now we can break this up into right triangles. And on a test, you're going to do a problem like this. So make sure you pay close attention. This is not an impossible problem, but there are a lot of pieces to it. So essentially what's going to happen is you're going to go, Scrappy's going to go down, across, up, and back, and that will get him to the destination, which is over and down. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that? That's what he's doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all these red arrows and add them up, and then we're going to figure out what the purple arrows would be. So we have some names for this. These are all right triangles. So let's do the blue one first. We have this distance is 2 kilometers. And then we have distance horizontal and distance vertical. And let's call this 1. Right? Then we have this red triangle, which has a distance vertical, and this is distance 2, vertical, and distance 2 horizontal. And this was 1 kilometer, I think. Putting in the angles, you did know that this was 60. Then if this is 90, what would this one have to be? 30. Okay? And if this down here is 45 degrees, what will this other angle have to be? 45 degrees. Yep. Okay. Then we'll come back to all this in a little bit, but let's go ahead and figure these out. Distance 1 vertical. If this is 2 kilometers, what will the smallest side across from 30 be? What will the smallest side be? 1, yep, 1 kilometer. And then distance 1 horizontal, what will the longest side be? Well, if this is 1, this will be 1 times the square root of 3 kilometers. Yep. And then we go over to this one. We want to know what the distance 2 vertical is and the distance 2 horizontal is. So let's see. If this is 1, this is just going to be 1 over what? Square root of 2. So this will be 1 divided by the square root of 2 kilometers. And this will also be 1 over the square root of 2 kilometers. This other one, because it's 45, 45. How are we doing? Doing okay? All right. And let's see, green one here. So now all we have left to do is figure out this last one. So I'm going to group this for you. in, and it doesn't like that highlight when you group it. All right, so now we're trying to find out how far Scrappy is. How far is he? And so the way we're going to do this is we're going to find the distance horizontal total and the distance total vertical. That's what we're going to find. In other words, we're going to say distance horizontal total is going to be this one, which was distance 1 horizontal, right? And distance 2 horizontal. Well, what do you do? Do you add or subtract these? This one's plus, so distance 2 horizontal. This one is going to be a plus square root of 3. And distance 2 horizontal is going to be 1 over the square root of 2. But what do you notice about the direction of this distance 2? We went all the way over here, but what do we do with this one? Subtract it. So that's going to be my horizontal distance. And then for my vertical distance, what you're going to do is you're going to go down distance 1 vertical, and then you're going to do what for distance 2 vertical? What are you going to do with that? Yeah. So however you want to view up and down, I would probably say the bigger one will be positive. So let's just say it's D1 vertical, and then you're going in the other direction, plus D2 vertical. And the D1 vertical was 1 kilometer. And then we are subtracting the D2, 1 over the square root of 2. Okay. So would you take your calculators out? Tell me what this guy is. Square root of 3 minus 1 over the square root of 2. And then the other ones, tell me what 1 over the square root of 2 is. Then we're ready for the final grand finale. So they had, for the distance total horizontal, 1.02, distance total vertical, 0.29. So now I'm going to draw one last triangle. This is my yellow one. This is the distance total vertical, which is 0.29 kilometers, and the distance total horizontal was 1.02 kilometers. So what the question is at the beginning it says, find Scrappy's distance and bearings from home. So this is my yellow triangle, which is my final triangle right here. We're going to try to find out what this distance is. What is this total distance from here? Oh, not that. We're looking for this one. This total distance here. From here to here. That's Scrappy's distance. Okay. So, if you knew this was 1.02 and you knew this was 0.29, could you figure out what this distance is? How would you do it? What's the relationship? Anybody know? Yeah? Do you know? Pythagorean theorem. So your distance total is the square root of 1.02 squared plus 0.29 squared. Now, if this is bigger than 1, Scrappy has to sleep outside. And what'd you get? 1.06. Sorry, Scrappy. You do the bad things, you have to sleep outside. We also want to know the bearing. We want to know this angle here. So turn to your neighbor and tell them what you do to figure out what this angle is if you knew 0.29 and 1.02. And I heard tangent. The tangent of theta is opposite 0.29 over 1.02. So if you want to find out what theta is, you undo the tangent of 0.29 over 1.02. Would you do that for me, please? And you're in the degree mode. Give me the degrees, minutes, and seconds. Degrees, minutes, and seconds. I have no idea what that is. So what'd you get for the theta? Want to tell me what you got? 15 degrees. Did you get any minutes and seconds? And 62?
No,
16 seconds. Perfect. So if you rounded this, this is about 15, about 16 almost. So we'll just say 15 degrees. So we go Scrappy was. All right. Now here's my compass: north, south, east, west. We're going to go east first. 15 degrees, 52 minutes, 16 seconds, sweeping north or south? South. And the distance is 1.06 kilometers. This is as tough as it gets with these triangle problems. As tough as it gets. If you handle this, you're going to be great. Now, the only thing that I didn't talk about is if these angles weren't 30, 60, 90, or 45, 45, you could get these distances by using the sine or the cosine and figuring them out. And that's exactly what you're going to do. Today, I'm going to give you about 10 of these problems. Does that sound fair? 10? No, that doesn't sound fair at all. I think if you do one of these, another lamppost problem, and another Scrappy-like problem, 3 is more than enough. And this is a review too. So there's a total of 4. Perfect. So we're going to get started on this number 6.